Okay, today should be the experiment discussion about the section C. This one is a compulsory question. Okay, question 11. Okay, every student also need to do. Then you need to do in a full scale paper. Okay, better we just prepare the table form to answer it. Okay, so now I discuss the technique first. Okay, later I show you the answer how in table form. Okay, we go and see the first one. Okay, how many topics of the science for the new syllabus? There's a Kssm. We go through to see Form 4 first. Don't just think about Form 5. You got learned Form 4 before. Okay, we got 12 of the topics. Okay, hopefully you can recall back all the 12 topics about the Form 4 syllabus. Okay, so some, I start from the chapter 6, I think, for the video clip. I do in the YouTube. I start from the chapter 6 until 12, also got video clip. So you want to recall back, you go and see the video clip. Okay, for the Form 5, okay, so this one is a chapter 1 until chapter 9. This one is a Form 5 syllabus. So that means total you got how many syllabus? 12 got 9. So you got 21. Okay, so please go to start study already. So the coming SPM is March, is it? So you not enough time already. Okay, so from here I go through the format for the size. The code is a 1511. Okay, paper 2. Okay, we see this part. Okay, for the paper 1, we just ujian tulis. So that means the objective question, 40 question. Okay, O is a pilihan. Okay, 40 question, jawab semua soalan, 40 marks. Okay, how about the paper 2? Paper 2, we got 3 sections. Okay, they got a subjective berstruktur, subjective respon terhad, subjective respon terbuka. Okay, so now we're going to see what is that. Okay, for the first one, bagian A, that one is 20 marks, only the 4 item. The 4 item is normally about the experiment question. Maybe the experiment do already. They just ask you, okay, what is a manipulate variable? What's a responding variable? Maybe they got data. Then from the data, they want you to find something. Okay, or the graph is not complete. They want you to complete. That one is a 4 item for the bagian A. Okay, bagian B is a 38 marks. 6 items. 6 items is a structure question. Structure question, maybe they come out the skeleton. After they ask you inside label, this one's what name. Then maybe they ask you relationship. They show you some of the diagram. They call you to compare. This one is a question for the section B. You also need to answer all. Okay, so this one is later we discuss about the structure question when you just come back to school. Okay, for the bagian C, bagian C I told you before, we got 1 item, there's a 10 marks. That's a question 11. That one is a experiment. So today we need to discuss is an experiment. So another item, 2 item more. 2 item, that means you need to either choose one. That one is a theory question. So before that, we learned already. We're talking about the solving problem, concept problem. You need to do the concept question. After that, this decision. After that, make opinion. That one is a theory question. That one is a 2 item from the question, 12 and 13. You need to choose one. One question is a 12 marks. Okay, so after that, paper 2 total is a 80 marks. So when they plus together, actually it's a 120 lah. So you need to divide. After that, multiply 100. Then the overall, the paper is 100 marks. Okay, now we see the section C. Okay, question 11 is an experiment, 10 marks. After that, the question 12 is a theory, 12 marks. 13 also is a theory, 12 marks. So that means you just choose either one for the total mark for the section C. There's a 22 marks. Okay, 22 marks. So from here, we need to go on is a question 11. Okay, tips to answer the question 11. Okay, we're going to see what's the tips. Okay, read the statement. Normally, they got one of the statement before you start to do the question. Okay, you need to read the statement or question situation carefully. Okay, you need to draw and label all the material and tools provided separately. So that means later for the experiment, you need to draw one. Okay, so after that, some more, you need to make sure to find out the variable. Before you start to do the report, you need to circle from the question which one should be manipulate variable, which one should be responding variable. Then number 4, this one is a variable, manipulate variable. Normally we talking there's a MV. MV is a short form. During the exam, you cannot write MV. You need to write manipulate variable. Okay, after that, the second one should be responding, RV. Okay, full sentence. Okay, number 3, then later number 3. So what should be always constant? You need to ask yourself. If you find the MV, you find the RV, then you need to find what should be constant for this one experiment. So the constant, we call it as a constant variable. Okay, constant variable. So after that, you need to build a problem statement. This one question, what is a problem statement? After that, you need to build hypothesis. Okay, now we're going to see how to build the problem statement, how to build the hypothesis. Okay, sample question like this. Example question 11. Okay, now they show you the growth of the microorganism is influenced by the several factors. So, such as the temperature, pH value, humidity, light, and the nutrients. Okay, so from here, they don't want to talk in the other. They want to focus is a pH only. They say different of the pH value, they will affect the growth of the bacteria. So that means temperature, humidity, light, nutrient, they also don't want to touch. They just mention important is the last sentence. Different pH value that will affect the growth of the bacteria. So from here, the first one, A, they sure will ask you problem statement. What is the problem statement from here? Okay, the problem statement is what? Oh, the pH different, no? Then after that affected the growth of bacteria. No? Actually, there's an exact. Okay, you can get it from the question about the problem statement. Okay, then how about the second one? The second one, okay, this one problem statement. Okay, second one sure is a hypothesis. Okay, hypothesis normally we talking when this one increase, that one decrease. But this one situation we don't have increase and decrease. Okay, pH value when very low, they become not active law. Very high, they also not active law. They are active during the middle optimum. Okay, so example for the situation for heating. Heating, when I provide more temperature, the molecule faster. That one you can say high. When the temperature increase, the kinetic of the molecule increase. That one you can say when. Okay, for this one situation, you just can state one sentence. When the pH value low, the growth of the bacteria become not active. Like this only. Okay, you cannot say when. Okay, because this one situation not exactly pH increase, then the growth increase or decrease. So we see the next one, what you need to do. Okay, then the question will continue. The sure will call you to, based on the given statement, design the lab experiment to test your hypothesis by using, okay, they will provided the apparatus. Distilled water, sodium hydroxide. This one can help you to think back what experiment actually we need to do. So that means you must very clear that we got sodium hydroxide. Then after that, we got nutrient broth, we got bacteria culture. So that means you need to think about that, the diagram, how to draw. Okay, they provide the apparatus already. Okay, after that, C, question C, they got separate with the sub question aim. The first one is an aim. Okay, number 2 is a variable. Okay, variable got 2 marks. So that means you need to mention all the variable, manipulate variable, responding, and constant variable. Okay, actually 2 marks, how to get it? Manipulate and responding share 1 marks. If you 1 correct, no marks. 2 correct, then you get 1 marks. Okay, constant variable, 1 marks. Okay, after that, procedure. Procedure got 4 marks. Important is the diagram. If your diagram you draw all properly already, actually the procedure you only explain so much. Because some students, they do not using the sentence to explain. So they draw lah. When they draw, they got label. Then after that you label, then we understand already. So important for the procedure, you must mention you need to record the observations after how many days. That one is important. Okay, then after that is a tabulate data. Tabulate data normally is table form. Okay, table form, 2 column. Okay, one is MV, one is a RV. This one we call tabulate data. Okay, overall just 8 marks. Okay, plus just now the this one is a 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 6, 7, 8, 8 marks plus just now the hypothesis. Then after that we got statement. Okay, so there's a 10 marks. Okay, now we're going to see read the citation of the question. Okay, just now I show you already. Important is the last part. Okay, from this one question, you need to find out MV and also RV. Okay, so any student here can tell me what is a manipulated variable here? From the sentence, I go to bracket. The different pH value, or you say the growth of the bacteria. Which one is a manipulate variable? Number one, manipulate variable. Okay, so different pH is a manipulate variable. So that means the next one should be responding variable lah. So we log these two answers first. Okay, you don't need to create one. Actually, you can find from the question. So from here, I go to set. This one should be my MV. Then this one should be my RV. Okay, so I set it already. That means this one must using starting until ending. You don't change already. Yeah. So I just write in the boxes. pH value is a MV. Then the RV is a growth of bacteria. Okay, so we continue the question. Okay, so the first one, they say state one problem statement. Okay, from the above informations. So the problem statement is what? Now the problem is they want you to find out is a different the value of the pH. Then after that, I need to find out how about the growth of the bacteria. So this one's a problem statement. So we know the problem statement, we need to know the technique, how to write. Okay, they must start like this. What is the effect? Problem statement is one of the sentence to asking the question. They got question mark one, because this is a problem statement. So from here, you must start. What is the effect of on what? So must be of MV on RV. So we just put it. What is the effect of pH value on the growth of the bacteria? So this one is the how to create problem statement. Remember the word, what is the effect of, then you put MV, then on, then you put RV. So important, you need to know what is the MV, what's the RV first. So now you can create the sentence become like this. Okay, so this one we call problem statement. So when I just put in, they become like this. What is the effect of pH value on growth of bacteria? So this one is a problem statement already lah. So remember how the format you need to write. What is the effect of the pH value on the growth of the bacteria? Okay, so this one we call problem statement. Okay, later I will give you one of the experiment question. Then you need to do by yourself after explanation. Okay, so this one is a problem statement. Then we go to second one, hypothesis. Hypothesis hard a bit because they're not fixed for the every question. They got certain question, they got different format. Okay, we see the hypothesis. Okay, now you need to suggest one hypothesis to investigate the above statement. Okay, now you see hypothesis, how to start. If, then citation, then citations. If what? If MV first. Okay, because MV you control, so you must mention what you control first. If the MV, how? Higher, lower, then you put in. Then RV, how? Okay, if I say MV, I want like this, then what happens for the RV? So if I join the sentence, they become, if the pH value decreases, depend for you lah, you want increase or you want decrease, because the question not mentioned. They just say pH value will affect the growth of the bacteria. They never say they increase or decrease. So you can say, if the pH value decreases, so the growth of bacteria decreases. Okay, bacteria for this part is a RV lah. Now this one is a RV. Okay, then this one pH value. This one is a MV. So this one is a situations. Okay, then we go other hypothesis. We got other shape one. Okay, we can see the, okay, ignore. Something is important here. Ignore, you cannot use the word. Okay, so let's see what is the ignore. Ignore to use the word affect. Okay, don't say, oh, pH value will affect the growth of the bacteria. No. Okay, they do not accept the word affected when you mention the sentence like this. Number two, you also cannot say depends. Or the growth of bacteria depends on the pH value. No, this one not hypothesis sentence. And the last one, you say change. Some students, they don't want to say situation, they say change. If the pH value change, then growth of the bacteria also change. Like this, wrong. Okay, you must mention the situation clear. Don't say change. Okay, please take notes. Ignore using this word. Okay, then we see another hypothesis for this one situation. You can see the latex. The latex, one is put the acid, another one, the latex, they put to the alkaline. So when they just put the acid, you can see that they become like this. Okay, they become reaggregate, they become one of the solid. Okay, when the latex, they put the alkaline, and they still liquid. Okay, so this one, what hypothesis we can make it? So the hypothesis, you cannot say if. You cannot say if, if the acid you put, then the coagulate becomes low. We never say like this. Okay, because this one is a two situation. One alkaline, one acid. Two situations. So we cannot say when, also cannot. If, then, also cannot. So how to write it? So we just write acid can or coagulate latex. Or you can say alkali prevent coagulate of latex. So you need to explain the observation. Actually, you can say about the observations. Okay, you see the diagram already. So you can see latex that can be occurred by the acid. Then another one, prevent coagulate for the latex can using alkaline. So this one is a statement. You see the diagram, then you write the statement for the hypothesis. So that means just like the earlier conclusion. Before you do the experiment, that means you got some earlier experiment. After that, I do experiment, I go to proof. Correct or not? Okay. So another example. Okay, you see this one. One Asia, they uses a vinegar to make the mango pictures. Okay, she discovered that the pickles can be kept for longer than the fresh mango. Okay, so from this one sentence, you need to create the hypothesis. You cannot say when already, what is it? When the mango pickles become how? Become got acid, then after that they stay longer. Okay, so from here we cannot say like this. So you see how to write this sentence. Mango pickles will acid can keep for longer than the fresh mango. So that means vinegar, the straightforward changes become acid. So we just when, then. This one can use it, you see, can then, is it? Mango, when the mango pickles with acid, then it can keep longer. Okay, then finish. You don't need to mention, then the fresh mango also can. Then you can say if, then. Okay, for when cannot use. Okay, we cannot say, oh, when the vinegar is more, then the keep longer time is longer. No, we never say like that. Okay, so you can see what's the differences for the hypothesis. Some we can compare, some cannot compare. Okay, we give you another one. Okay, this one is one of the question also. A fat boy and a thin boy are swinging at the same speed. Okay, the fat boy is more difficult to stop to swinging. Compare the thin boy. So important, the last sentence. These show the relationship between mass and inertia of the object. Okay, so from here we find it, we got two physical quantities, mass and also inertia. So the measure is a mv. This one is a mv, this one is a rv. Okay, how to write the sentence? So this one we can say if, or you say when, can. You see, when the mass increase, inertia of the object also increase. Or you want to put when can. When the mass increase, the inertia of the object also increase. Okay, you can see what's the difference. Some question cannot, some question can. Alkaline and acid. Okay, for question. If I want to use if then can, then the inertia of the object also increase. Can. Okay, if the acid and alkaline just now cannot use, if and then cannot use. You cannot say if the acid increase, then how? Then the alkaline, how? Cannot. So you need to depend the question. Okay, need to depend the question. So like this easier lah. If the question come out like this, I mean you can use it if, then. But normally it's a if and then depend the situation. So I show you the technique how to write the sentence. So important you find MV and RV first. After that you just put in, just like fill in the blank. Okay, if MV, then RV, like this. Then remember the situation you need to put. Okay, after the hypothesis, now is the C. C is the longest part. They need to write the report. Okay, so from here, you need to test your hypothesis by using the distilled water. This all is a apparatus. So this all apparatus later you need to show in your diagram. Okay, so from here, I want you to cancel the word 2 test tube. Okay, now we're never using test tube already. We're using the pantry dishes. And just like the plate. Okay, we're never using the test tube. Test tube just like the longer part. After that, you need to put the liquid. No, now they're using nutrient broth. Agar. So agar, they never put inside the test tube. Put inside the test tube normally is a liquid. So from here, we change this by using pantry dishes. Okay, so we still keep. Okay, one more tips for you. Some students, they don't know how to write MV and RV. Maybe they cannot find from the question. So you can copy the apparatus. Example, MV, you can say distilled water. Okay, and also sodium hydroxide solution. 2 must mention, cannot either one. 2 also must mention. So because we're using distilled water, another one is a sodium hydroxide. So this 2 is I control one. So this one is a manipulate variable. So this 2 is a different pH. Distilled water pH is a 7. Okay, sodium hydroxide, there is a alkaline. There's a lower than the 7. So that one is a low pH. So from here, if you write pH value, okay, you are correct. If you cannot find the pH value, you straightforward copy from the apparatus, distilled water and sodium hydroxide solution, also correct. Okay, RV. RV, you say growth of bacteria, is it? If you don't want to mention growth of bacteria, you say later we do experiment, you need to see is a number. Number of the white dot. The white dot is a bacteria. So you can see the number of the colonies. Okay, both also correct. So just teach you, if you do know, just you copy all the MV in the apparatus, then you just copy. Remember, nutrient block, not MV. Bacteria culture, not MV. This one is a thing fixed already. Okay, which one changes? Distilled water and sodium. So that means you just put this one is a MV also can. Okay, now we're going to see diagram. This one is a diagram. 2 pantry dishes. Then after that, one you put copy from the apparatus. Distilled water, nutrient broth, and bacteria culture. Okay, another one, sodium hydroxide solution, nutrient broth, and bacteria culture. Okay, so that means now the diagram very clear already lah. Which one you want to put? Okay, so remember diagram must got label. If no label, we don't understand. Okay, so we continue for the question C. Okay, C. Number 1 sure is an aim. Okay, number 1 sure is an aim. Okay, how to write the M? We got format. Let's see the format. To investigate relationship between what and what. So mention MV first, followed by RV. Okay, remember the word to study also can, to investigate also can, relationship between MV on RV. So MV is what? pH value. Okay, if you write longest one, distilled water, sodium hydroxide, then you write all. Okay, if you write pH value, then you just put pH value. Okay, another one should be the RV. On what? On the growth of bacteria, or you say on the number of the colonies. So this one should be the sentence. To investigate relationship between pH value on the growth of bacteria. Okay, so this one is MV. Okay, this one is growth of bacteria, RV. So the rest is the same one. You go to memorize to investigate relationship between what and what. Okay. So from here I go to after the aim, 1 marks. Okay, that's a variable. Okay, variable. So variable that means just now show so many times already the variable. Okay, make sure, not much sure, make sure to write completely the sentence. Don't write MV. Need to write manipulated variable. Then what is that? pH value, or you mentioned just now the distilled water, sodium hydroxide solutions. Okay, RV, write full words, responding variable, growth of bacteria, number of colonies also can. Okay, CV is a constant variable. Okay, just now we're talking distilled water, sodium. This one already is manipulated variable, is it? So the rest, nutrient, bacteria, sure is a constant variable. But you need to add one quantity, the thing to explain. You cannot say nutrient broth. How many nutrient broth is it? Quantity. So you put volume. Okay, volume of the nutrient broth you want to put in. Okay, that means the agar you want how many volume. Okay, 2 also must same. Or you say bacteria culture, volume of the bacteria culture you want to put in. And the last one is a type of the bacteria. We don't have type of the nutrient broth. The nutrient broth only is one type. But bacteria, we got so many types. So both pantry dishes must put the same type material. If the type is different, so that means later the grow bacteria also different. Okay, so these 3 you can write in the constant variable. Which one should be constant? Okay, don't just write nutrient broth. You need to put in front. You need to explain. This one what quantity? Volume of the nutrient broth. Okay, don't say number. We don't have any number. So normally there's a liquid. So we say volume lah. Volume of the bacteria culture and also the nutrient broth. Okay, so this one is how to write the variable for this question. Okay, then we're going to see procedure tips. How to write the procedure? First, drawing. Drawing just now I show you already. Must draw and label. Okay, important. Okay, so don't forget to draw your diagram. And must draw, after that label clear. If your label clear, that means your procedure no need to write so much already. Okay, first one, for your procedure, the first one, you normally just write this one. Apparatus is set up as above diagram. Okay, refer above the diagram. Okay, number 2, you must say put in. You say place in. Okay, place in what? Place in the, later I show you, I show all first. Okay, place in the CV, constant variable. Constant variable is what? Nutrient broth, is it? Bacteria, is it? So you must say place in how many nutrient broth. Okay, example, you say 10 cm, 10 ml. Okay, so you must put volume, is it? Just now I say volume, so you must say you want to put in how many ml of the nutrient broth, or you say bacteria. Okay, so from here, number 3 also same, but this one is a MV. MV means what? The pH value, is it? So if you're using the distilled water, when starting using distilled water, you must mention how many distilled water you put in. Okay, put in 20 ml of the distilled water. Like this, finish. Or you say place in, like this. You don't need so much, no need to explain so long already. Just say you put in how many MV1. There's a distilled water, you put in. Okay, so from here, don't mention pH value. pH value we cannot measure already, we cannot see already. We're just using distilled water, or you say sodium. Okay, record. Number 4, you need to record. After you put in the distilled water, you need to record, or you say measure, observe. Observe what? Observe the RV lah. RV is what? Growth of the bacteria. Or you say number of the colonies. After how many days? How many hours? Depend for yours. You need to write. So this one should be RV. RV. So 1 to 4, actually you are finished one set. One set of the experiment. So number 5 is a repeat. So now you repeat, you must using another manipulate variable, is it? So another one should be we using the sodium hydroxide. Okay, so there's a M2. So you say repeat the experiment by using another solutions. Okay, number 6, the observation are record. This one you must write. Okay, this one you must write. Recorded in the table. That's all. Okay, so the first one you also need to write. Okay, first and number 6 you must write. Okay, number 2, number 3, some student will ask, if I forget to write, how? You got diagram, is it? Diagram you got mentioned. Okay, you put in the 10 ml. You got write 10 ml neutron broth. Then you got put 10 ml distilled water. So that although you never write number 2 and number 3, but the diagram got. Okay, and the diagram got. Okay, but number 4 you need to write lah, because diagram don't have number 4. Okay, you must say you observe, record after how many days. This one important. Okay, you must mention. Okay, number 5 you never mention also okay, because you got another diagram. Another diagram you say you put the sodium, is it? So that means diagram is important. Some students say I just put one diagram can. If you only put one diagram, that means number 5 you need to write lo. You need to say repeat lo. If you 2 diagram you also draw, that means number 5 I can ignore. I no need to mention already, because I got draw. I got label very clear already the diagram. So they can help you. Okay, so this one is help the student to get the mark from the diagram. Okay, you only important you start for introduction. Apparatus is set up as above diagram. Then the bottom one, the last one, the conclusion, the observation is recorded in the table. That's all. Okay, so you can see the table here, formula. First one, diagram. Okay, then after that, straightforward, you write the apparatus already, then you mention CV. CV means a constant variable. Then mention MV1. If your diagram is not complete, so you need to write the full one. MV1. After that is the RV. Then MV2 sure is a repeat already. Then the last one, record. Okay, so this one is a formula how you write the procedure. Okay, now I want to put in, just now the question I want to put in 1 until 6, the procedure. Okay, so I put in, just now MV, RV, CV, we write here already. So I want to put in. The first one, okay, I still write. Apparatus is set up as above diagram. Okay, number 2, CV is it? So I put in. Put 20 ml. So this one's a CV. 20 ml of the neutron broth and scrub the bacteria culture over the neutron broth. Okay, so you just say you don't want to mention, actually you don't want to mention the value. That means you cannot get the constant variable because they say volume is it. So you need to mention. Bacteria culture you don't mention is okay, either one only. You mention how many neutron broth you want to put in. Okay, then number 2 finish, then we go MV1. You say distilled water already. Okay, distilled water you want to put how many? 10 ml, entry each. Okay, then number 4, you need to observe, record. So after 3 days, important you need to mention the time. You want to keep how long? Count the number of the bacteria of the colonies. So from here, you cannot say grow of bacteria. We cannot see grow of bacteria. We only can count the number of the bacteria colonies. Okay, so I label red color. Red color is what? RV, responding variable. Okay, number 5, repeat MV2. Okay, now the MV2 is a sodium hydroxide solution. So I say repeat the experiment by using sodium hydroxide solution. So this one is a MV number 2. Okay, so number 6, conclusion. Close already, record. Number 6, the observations are recorded in table. Okay, understand or not? So that means how to write the procedure. Okay, remember diagram first, then the introduction apparatus is set up. Then number 2, sure is a RV. Okay, after mention RV, number 3, MV1. Then number 4, you must mention after how long. Then what you need to do. The RV, how you go to get it. You want to measure, you want to observe, you want to calculate, I don't know. So depends. Number 5, sure is a repeat MV2. Then number 6, conclusion. Conclusion, you must say the observation is recorded in table. So at least you got 6 lah. Okay, 6 of the procedure. Okay, remember the apparatus we no need to mention, right? Your label, then that's all. Apparatus no need to mention. Okay, after that, number 4 should be the last one, tabulate the data. Okay, tabulate the data means table form lah. So your table form, 2 columns, 1 for MV, 1 for RV. Okay, so your label MV is what? pH value. Then the RV is the number of the colonies. Okay, remember we never using glow of bacteria already, because the experiment we cannot see the glow of bacteria. In front you still can use, but during the experiment, no, we totally change, become number of the colonies. Okay, if you want to using number of colonies from starting until ending, okay, that's correct. Okay, so the pH value for the distilled water, neutron broth, and bacteria culture. So actually, you no need to fill it. You just draw the table only. Then you label the MV. What's the name? Sodium, neutron, bacteria. Then this one, empty. No need to fill it. Okay, so this one is the table form for how you tabulate the data. Just now you say tabulate data, so tabulate data must in table form. Okay, so from there, finish already. This one is a one of the experiment, how to write in the format. Okay, remember the format. So I already give you one of the exercise in the Google Classroom. Okay, anybody go and check? Jala, you go and check Google Classroom, go or not? Okay, there is a section C, question 11 experiment. Okay, there's one of the question I want you to do. Follow what I teach you just now. Okay, so that means you know how to write. Okay, how to write. Okay, follow the just now the technique. Okay, so we just stop here lah. So you can go and download your exercise already. If you cannot download, no printer, you just see the question you answer inside one of the paper. Okay, so the lesson just until this part. So thank you everyone. You got extra, got 5 minutes for you to rest. Okay, so the student you can leave already.